this since you don't gonna speak on it, because one of the things I have not spoke on Shedeur Sanders since he's been a Cleveland Brown. I really haven't spoke on this. I've actually kept all my thoughts in. I haven't expressed how I really truly feel about the situation. I'm gonna say this: it's business. Is Shedeur Sanders gonna get cut? Hell no. There's no way you can cut Shedeur. You know why you can't cut Shedeur? If you cut Shedeur and you allow him to go to another team, everything that Cleveland has built far as press, money, stature, sales, all that goes out the window. All of it. You'll be a damn fool to lose millions of dollars. Because you know what they're going to do? As long as Shedeur Sanders does not start, we got the eye of the people. We get to control the situation. All it is about control. There's nothing more, there's nothing less. What they did to Shedeur is what they've done to a lot of quarterbacks. You just starting to notice it because the last name Sanders on the back of the jersey. I'm gonna be frank honest. This happens so much, and this is why I stayed away from this. This is why I truly stayed away from this, and I haven't really spoke out about this, is because you're starting to see what's been happening, what's been transpired in the NFL for a long period of time. People are just not noticing because the last name is Sanders on the back of their goddamn jersey. The NFL are not going to change their ways. They're telling you, you're not bigger than the shield. We don't care what your name is and who you are, what you came with. Here's what the NFL doesn't want, and this has been happening for a long time. When star players come from NFL, that comes from college. The NFL is going to do whatever they can to make sure they humble you, coming from college, from all their star power, to make sure that you don't have a value and you build a value through the NFL and do it their way, because they want to be in control of who they market, how they market them, and what scale they put them on. The difference was, because of the way the NFL handled this situation, it's put it on a different platform. So now you got everybody rallying behind Shedeur Sanders, because now you're really starting to see that this situation has been happening for a long period of time. It's been happening for years. It's been happening for decades. But you ain't really got an opportunity to see the realness of it. Now you're getting to see it because a lot of people resonate with the Sanders. But I've been trying to stay away from this for this reason, because I got some real thoughts and I got some real passion behind this, and I wanted to make sure that it come out the right way, and so I've really been holding back what's really going on. But at the end of the day, it's business. I understand it. I have people from my hometown that play the NFL. I know the ins and outs of the NFL. I know how it works. I know how to, from a business standpoint, know how it works, the ins and outs of it. I know some people. I got some friends right now that's in the NFL that I actually truly played with, that knows the ins and outs of it. This is a situation that's been happening for black quarterbacks for a long period of time. Say nothing new. The difference is now everything's getting blown up to a different level because the last name is Sanders. So what I'm going to tell you is, don't take it personal because it's business. What I will tell you is, what they're doing to Shedeur is personal more than it is business. Because they already made a decision that, hey, we chose quarterback A, you're quarterback B. We're going to give quarterback A every opportunity to be successful, and we don't care what it looks like. We don't care if we give him the best receivers, the best offensive line, the best things. What you don't realize is Shedeur was built for this before the moment even got here. The book, the story, everything's already been written. The difference in the matter is you got the entire world riding with Shedeur because of the nonsense of what's going on. But what I'm going to tell you is, the more you buy into the negativity of what they want you to buy into, the worse the situation you're going to get. I'm going to say this again. The more negativity you buy into this situation or what Cleveland is doing, they are winning in the end. because it's going to keep him off the field longer. Just support him. Just appreciate what's going on. Just appreciate they give him the opportunity and keep uplifting Shedeur. I'm telling you this for a reason. Because the more y'all keep doing this, the more they're going to sit back and they're going to just keep rubbing their hands like, we got him, baby. We got him. It's going to be funny how things going to work out and how Shedeur is going to play. All you got to do is just sit back and be patient and let everything play out. I promise you. Shedeur is going to start before they want him to start. They just don't realize that he's going to start before they want him to start. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep him down as long as possible. Just saying. But that's the bag I didn't want to get into because I got some real thoughts about it. And I really got something real to say about it. But I don't want to keep y'all here all night because I'll really get into this whole subject about it. And what I'm gonna tell you is they got you. That what they're doing right now is they got people in they got people in a situation exactly where they want them to be at. And what they're doing is trying to react the draft into the season. We're going to hold you by the ransom until it's time to when Shedeur can be on the field. We're going to have you buy into this process. We're going to let you run the bag up for us. Because as long as Shedeur don't play, guess what's going to happen? Y'all going to have something to say. Good, wrong, or indifferent, y'all going to have something to say. Y'all just gave all their followers a bagging that they ain't never had before. Everybody that's been a reporter, been that for the Browns, they never had this type of following. They don't even know what to do with it. Why do you think they keep saying something negative? Why do you think they keep trying to make these hit stories? Because they've never had this much attention. This wasn't for a reason. This is about marketing, money, and controlling the narrative. That's all this is. How can I control the narrative? You know how I control the narrative? I could just not let Shedeur play. I could just put Shedeur in the worst situation and see if he comes out of it. And every time the situation happens, guess what? Shedeur keep making him look bad. Shit just keep coming down. Right? Everything that they keep trying to do with Shedeur is going to fail against them. He's going to rise from it.
Totally agree.
But I'm going to tell you this. They can't afford to cut Shedeur. They don't even want to trade him. You know how many teams that take Shedeur right now? I'm just being honest. You know how many people take Shedeur right now? Majority of the teams gonna take him. But Cleveland ain't stupid because if you trade Shedeur right now, you know how much money go out that window? Go ahead, Gerald. Because I see you come on mute. You have something to say?
Yeah, nah, look, all we can do is wish the best for him, man. You know, as far as Shedeur, like when I was talking to my old lady about it, and she was just like, he looked like stressed on the field, and I was just like, yeah. But as a professional athlete, like it's just kind of like what you go through. Like that's a part of the process.
I'm gonna tell you why he looks stressed on the field.
And he young, and so I'm not gonna say not to show it, but grow from it. Like don't let the next time you're on the field and you have a situation that don't go in your favor, don't let it boil over again, right? Because in professional sports, more oftentimes than not, you want people to learn from a situation that can be perceived negatively. And I can understand this frustration. Like, look, man, you want to make something happen. You want to make a play. You're frustrated with maybe blocking schemes. You're frustrated with maybe route concepts. There could be a lot of things that you're frustrated with. But at the end of the day, you got to be a professional because it's 31 other teams looking at you to be like, well, if he get here and the same situation occur again, will that same perceived, body language go on our team? And then I look at it from like other players that they more than likely gonna get cut. They looking at him like, come on, dog. Like, I'm literally about to be out of a job and you upset about this. Now, I'm not saying for him not to show emotion, but what I'm saying is that when you're a professional and you are on a higher pecking order than others,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you gotta bite the bullet and move accordingly. Because to me, it wasn't a good look. Like, I understand, like, he was frustrated, but it wasn't a good look. And the odds could be stacked against you. He didn't get no reps. He was hurt, so he didn't get no reps. He probably didn't even know who he was playing with. He probably, some of them dudes on the offensive line was, probably mixed in, got cut through the week, brought in, all kind of things that happen. That just happens with professional sports.
I'm gonna say this to this, right? I get it. People say he was frustrated, this, that, and the third. What I'm gonna tell you, this whole situation was the only reason why he looked that way. It was more he was disgusted with the organization for what they just pulled. Because everybody he's been practicing with, that ain't who he went out there and played with. You went out there and played with
That's what
everybody
I
about
was
to.
gonna say.
You
Thank
you
you,
went
Rob.
you went out there and played with everybody that's about to get cut, and you know this because players talk. This ain't nothing stupidity. Players talk, agents talk. Shedeur went out there and he looked around. And he's like, "Oh, okay." He thought he was gonna get in his mindset when he's getting ready, when he's revving up, because he know he's gonna play the third quarter. He just thought that, hey man, give me the same offensive line y'all just gave Dylan Gabriel. Give me them same receivers, and now let's make it look across the board. Let's see a model. Let's compare apples to apples. But you went out there, you said, you know what? We're not gonna get Shedeur what he want. We're gonna put him in even more fire situation. Everybody that we're thinking about cutting, that's who's finna play. That script was already written before the game even went played. They knew what they was finna do. Because guess what? All they're doing is sit back and they're watching everybody that uploads a video that type in Shedeur Centers. Everybody that's got something to say, they're watching this. If you think that they're not, they're showing you that they are. And this is why I'm telling you this. Every time y'all go out there and people just keep going at the organization, keep going, they don't just sit back and laugh. They're having a party with it, right? Because this is one thing they hope happen. Shedeur Centers get hurt and then they ain't got to worry about it no more.
Nah, I don't think that's the case, man.
Okay.
I don't think they
I'm
want
not
him to get hurt.
saying that they're predicting. I'm not saying that they're predicting for Shedeur Sanders to get hurt, but they want to put Shedeur Sanders in some type of position to say, "Hey, he ain't worthy of being here." But everybody can see when it was time to rise, because he's already beat the expectation. This is the crazy part about it is he already beat the expectation preseason game number 1.
Yeah, and for me, like the stuff that you said, that's why I said for Shedeur, like you got to play the game within the game. Like if you looking around and you like, dog, you ain't playing, and oh man, you ain't going in. So we ran about 2 weeks ago. I was running with y'all, but I ain't really get the rep with them down there. But so you ain't going in, so I got to rep. I got to go out with these guys, but you still got to play the game within the game. Like you can't go out there and lose yourself in the moment. Like whatever, hey, make the first read. The first read ain't there. I don't need you losing 15 yards trying to make a miraculous play. That's how you get yourself hurt. That's how Deshaun Watson got hurt, scrambling for his life and blew his Achilles out. So
one thing I always say about Shedeur, just throw the ball away, man. I've always said it from Jackson State days. Well, pretty much from Trinity days all the way up. I said, Shedeur, just throw the ball away. Just let the fight another down. It's okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Just give us a puncher's chance at the end to say, hey, I'm gonna win this thing.
Because now you got to, because I know a lot of people was like upset with the play calling, but then you got to think about it. Like he got sacked, he lost 7 yards. So what the play calling gonna be like? So if the coach run all short routes, then people gonna say, well, they ran all short routes. But now it's 2nd and 15, and we got to let routes develop further down the field. But the offensive line play is not as good.
No.
And now he's trying to like push the ball down the field. That's why I'm looking at the game like, all right, we can't revert back to 2023 Shedeur, because it ain't about just the preseason ain't about just making plays. The preseason is about going through and developing. All right, look, man, I might have to just eat this sack. Dude came off the end real quick. I might have to just eat this sack. Let me step up in the pocket. It ain't there. Let me throw it to the running back feet. You know, stuff like that. So you can stay as close to on schedule as possible. He did a lot of bad stuff. And those are rookie mistakes that he'll learn from, he'll get better for. But the game within the game is when you on that sideline, hey, man, it's all good, man. Look, we got to come back out there. You know, let's try to hit it again next time. Because, again, these other grown men, they finna be out of a job. You going to have a job. You already got money. Some of them ain't got money.
You know
So
what's crazy? I'm glad you
that's
said
a part
about
of, you know what I'm saying? That's a part of them leadership qualities that we know he has. And I'm just like, I'm kind of like, don't let it get to you, dog. And he let it get to him today.
I'm glad you said something about money, right? You know, Shedeur Sanders has made more money than anybody that's a rookie so far because of the prime clause that he got in his contract. That's a whole nother conversation. But I just wanted to put that out there. 2, I'm gonna say this. Now, Jr., I know we ain't the smartest people out here in the world. What's one of the favorite calls that they like to run when it's 2nd and long, right? They like to run a draw play in the NFL, right?
Yeah, draw a screen. Yeah.
How many of those play calls were called when Shedeur Sanders was in the game?
I don't look like none.
Okay.
I think. Well, no. Let me take that back. They ran like 2 draws. I did remember seeing like 2 draws. Now screenplay, I ain't see no screenplay set up though. With no screen call.
So with that being said, right? Do you realize that they really weren't trying to run the offense for Shedeur? And they was just like, hey man, you just go do something and we're gonna figure it out from here. But when you seen Dylan Gabriel out there, everything was scripted for him.
I don't know if I can buy all the way into that, man. I want to say that they had a set of plays for Shedeur to go in and be like, hey, man, let's see how these plays go. But, you know, in football, like a lot of stuff got to happen. The snap got to be good. The left tackle, right tackle, guard, center, like people got to hold their blocks for a specific. Receivers got to win on routes. Like a lot of that stuff didn't happen. So if that don't happen, like it's okay to just, you know, move on. It's okay.
But even
like,
when stuff, but my
this
thing
is not
is
a regular season game, so this win or loss doesn't matter. What matters is how you go about progressing, looking through. All right, my first read ain't there, my second read ain't there. All right, throw the ball away. Scramble, throw the ball away. Don't scramble 20 yards and then still lose 4 or 5 yards. Don't do that.
But why put him in that situation?
What, as far as like the play call? Look, the offensive coordinator.
Here's one thing I do know, right? When you know that you got a terrible offensive line in front of you, what most coaches invite their pass rush to come up so they can run something right underneath it. That's one thing I do know, right? In the NFL. That's one thing I've seen done too many times, right? The second piece of it is when you know you got a tremendously bad offensive line, they roll the pocket. It's some type of bootleg, some type of action like that. That's what I really didn't see.
Yeah, but go
ahead.
The thing I say to that is that they not only evaluating Shedeur, right? I mean, it's 10 other people on the field with him, and you know that. So they still got to evaluate. It's still things they want to see from these other guys.
Right, but you still have to put everybody in a situation to be successful, right? Because guess what? They're going to run a bootleg in the game. They're going to run some type of stretch play in the game. They're going to run a draw, a screen. These are certain things that you're going to run in the game. So why not, instead of wasting reps and keep putting him in shotgun and empty sets and running for his life, put him in play calls. It's going to be successful because you're going to run stuff in the game. And God forbid something goes down with one of your quarterbacks, you got to put Shedeur Sanders in the game. These are things gonna happen. So you just went out and wasted a bunch of reps on a bunch of bull crap. That's what you did.
I mean, look, if you're saying it for Shedeur, then yeah, it's wasted reps.
No, I'm talking about for everybody.
Again,
Because
for the other,
if you're going to add these people onto the roster or potential fighting for a job, why not put them in something that you more than likely are going to run so we can see if they can handle that instead of wasting reps and putting it everybody, because it's not just Shedeur, it's about the 10 other people out there too. So
yeah.
So when you put them in a bad situation and you put Shedeur in a bad situation, that basically saying you're canceling everybody that's on the field right now. It doesn't matter.
But it's about what they evaluating. So we don't know what they evaluating. So we can say the play calling looked bad, you know, from the naked eye. And I agree, the play calling, it looked a little suspect.
I'm not even talking about the play calling. I'm talking more of the scheme of it, right?
I mean,
what you're doing.
Even the scheme, you know, the scheme gonna be vanilla. It's not gonna be a typical. It's gonna be a vanilla. It's gonna be a vanilla scheme. We know it ain't gonna be in depth. They probably went over maybe 20, 20 something odd plays with Shedeur. You know, hey man, you're gonna play the third, maybe into the fourth quarter. So we're gonna go through about 20, 25 plays or something like that, because they, trying to estimate of where, like, all right, this is typically how many plays could be ran within a quarter and a half.
Yeah.
So they looking at stuff and they evaluating stuff to just trying to see. When we look at it from a lens of like strictly Shedeur, I totally agree. Like, it was a lot of questionable things, but other things got to be evaluated too. If we call in a screenplay and I need to evaluate to see can receivers get open downfield, they ain't gonna get open on no screenplay. Could we call it a screenplay?
But see, Northside, see, you're looking at the wrong thing. I don't care that Shedeur is a 5th round draft pick. I'm talking about everybody that's on the field. If I say, hey, I'm looking for somebody to make the 53-man roster, and they're out there with Shedeur, whether they play center, guard, tackle, slot receiver, X receiver, wide receiver, running back, I want to put them in a situation where I can see real reps that can translate to the team's success. No matter what the round of the quarterback, yes, you have the quarterback on the floor out there, but at the same time, you have to think about, hey, can some of these people make the roster? But if you keep putting them in bad situations where it doesn't allow you to really truly evaluate a player, guess what's going to do? It's going to automatically cut that player, because you've already had a notion of you're trying to take it out on one player, which can affect the other 10 players out there on the field.
And for
that's
me,
all I'm saying.
I think that's what I think that's the one thing Shedeur did bad today. He took that away from the other 10 players that was on the field by making, whether it's a selfish decision to try to, or a brave decision to try to extend the play or whatever like that. Like, dog, just, hey, get rid of the ball, man, and maybe the play call could change. Because again, when it's 2nd and 21, it ain't too many plays that you can run, for other players to continue to get reps on field, to continue to get the reps that they need to possibly make the team. So that's why I was just like all that scrambling around, like you scrambling around with some guys that ain't gonna be on the field. Why are you scrambling around?
Yeah.
Like, there ain't no point to do that. Throw the ball away. Try to keep the sticks as short as possible. But the further you get back, that changes the play call. And if they already going in with a certain script, we don't know what the script looked like. So now we asking for something, and it's like, well, we didn't even really put that in the install for the third team. This is the plays we install, so we got to kind of run what we install with them.
Yeah, I agree. Now, Northside, you could tell me all day, because the facts of the facts is he's a 5th round pick, right? I mean, a 5th round pick. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. If you have no intention on keeping him, then just cut him. No. You can say he's a 5th round pick all day long, but what I'm gonna tell you, what they're not gonna do, they're not gonna cut him. They're more likely not gonna trade him. So this notion of just saying he's not a 5th round pick, you might as well go ahead and give him good reps, right? Put him in situations where he has opportunity to have good reps. Because the notion of it is you're making money off this 5th round draft pick. You made more money off this 5th round draft pick than you have ever made in history. So
Shedeur
with that
he gonna get reps, man.
I'm not worried about. I'm just taking it from just a preseason right now. I know what's going. I'm not even worried about what's going to happen in the future because we know that's going to happen. I'm just saying from this standpoint, right? You saying that they don't care? They care. Because if they really truly didn't care, he'd have been cut right after the game.
Nah, they ain't gonna do that.
I'm just saying. But that's how the NFL work, right? After the game, certain teams already cut 12 players. If they feel like, hey, he's a 5th round draft pick and we want to stand by that notion, guess what? He'd have been cut. I guarantee they don't cut him. Try to put him on a practice squad and see what happens.
Nah, I don't think they're gonna cut him.
Try to cut him or try to put him on a practice squad and see what happens.
I think they're gonna. Me personally, I think they're gonna keep him on the 53-man roster, but he's not gonna dress. Like we're gonna see Shedeur in street clothes for a lot of the season, and I think maybe towards the latter end of the season, then you'll probably see him dress. Just depending on what they season looking like. But if they not in contention for no playoffs or nothing like that, then you'll see him dressed out and stuff like that. But if they put him on the 53-man roster, they doing him a favor. Allow him to come in. Allow him to still get work, be active, get reps against the first team defense of Cleveland, give Cleveland defense looks, and let him perfect and hone more on his craft.
Oh, he's going.
So I think they could do. I think they'll do that.
You ask him how he's gonna get reps. He's gonna be the scout team quarterback. That's what he's gonna be.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna tell you that. They ain't gonna publicly come out and tell you that. But that's who's gonna be the scout team. See, they can't. See, here's the thing. They can't put him on a practice squad because if you put him on a practice squad, that means he can go sign with anybody.
Yeah.
And if somebody calls, I promise you, if they try to put him on that practice squad, his phone gonna ring before he can get to the practice squad. You ain't gotta worry about that. So from that notion, the only thing they can do is try to put Dylan Gabriel on the scout team and hope that nobody try to call for him.
Yeah.
But you try to push Shedeur Sanders on the practice squad, guarantee he ain't gonna be in Cleveland. Don't worry about it.
Because
he ain't gonna be in Cleveland.
Yeah, typically, I mean, for a team to keep 4 quarterbacks going into the season, that's kind of taboo. Like why are they doing that? But you're looking at Joe Flacco, older and longer in the tooth in the NFL. Injuries happen 100% of the time in the NFL, so that's the thing. Then you got Kenny Pickett coming into the season. He not even healthy, so he's still nursing a hamstring, trying to get himself back together. Then it's Dylan Gabriel, a rookie. So they got some confidence in him, but not enough to just be like, well, we only gonna keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster. Then they go with another quarterback in Shedeur. So
yeah, you got it. You got to keep Shedeur.
Yeah, you've heard Stefanski say it. You heard Andrew Berry just say it today. Look, we not it's not off the table to carry 4 QBs into the season. So obviously that's a topic of conversation within that building to say, look, are we serious about carrying 4 QBs into the league season?
But see, Gerard, this is why I just didn't want to talk about Shedeur, because no matter how he looked in preseason, there was no way they were going to cut him. There's no way they could. You know how many people bought 12 jerseys? Them 12 jerseys took over all the jerseys that the Browns being sold right now. They're not idiots. They're not going to just when you start affecting the bottom line in a positive way, they can't cut that. They can't let that get cut. There's no way. Like, we will cut somebody that ain't selling jerseys, which is Kenny Pickett, right? We'll cut him because ain't no jerseys being sold. We ain't really making no money off him, right? Before we talk about cutting Shedeur Sanders, you go out and cut Shedeur Sanders and you lose millions of dollars. Hey, guess what? You know how they give all their buddies information in the media to protect them and do all this stuff? This is what the media is telling the Browns. Hey, man, you can't cut Shedeur, man. We're making too much money right now. You know how different their checks look right now because of Shedeur Sanders? Oh, they'd rather keep writing hit pieces and let Shedeur Sanders be the second or third string versus cutting them.
Yeah.
So they got to look out for their buddies too.
To me, I mean, it'll be a big deal on Tuesday to see what the organization, how they really value him. Because if they put him on a practice squad, then that just lets you know they don't value him. Like, hey, if somebody want to come pick him up, be our guest, pick him up. But if they keep him on a 53-man roster, that means, all right, somebody in that building values him. We don't know who the somebody is. We can assume who it is, but somebody in the building stood on the table for him to say, hey, you know, like, let's keep this guy on the roster and let's try to develop him. You know, that's kind of like a quasi situation with the Browns developing a quarterback, right? But if anything, Shedeur gets to be in the building, right? He gets to be in the meeting rooms, and he can help put himself in a better headspace by, all right, man, let me continue to grind, so my opportunity comes. Because what we know about the Browns, over the last 2 years, they didn't play like 9 quarterbacks. So he'll get a shot.
Oh, he gonna get a shot. That's one thing I ain't worried about. He gonna get a shot. But I'll say to Northstar's, to your point, Shedeur should sign with the UFL. There is no way that the NFL is gonna allow it to happen. You can say that. There is no way the NFL letting that happen. And with the situation of the Saints in, the situation that the Rams are in right now, they wouldn't even let that happen. He assigned to an organization. So him going to sign to the UFL, it's just, it ain't going to happen. As much as we'd love to see that happen. Well, here's the thing, because the reason why you don't want that to happen, you know how much money the UFL is going to make if that happens? That the NFL just lost? The NFL ain't finna let that happen. You know, any stadium that Shedeur plays in, that's sold out for the entire season. They not finna let the UFL is still competition to the NFL, regardless of the fact of how you want to look at it, right? It's going to turn into a development league to where all 30 teams have a team underneath them, and so that's where the development players are going to go. The players they drafted, they make. That's where they're going to end up going. That they're going to end up going to. It's going to be their minor leagues for the NFL. But what I'm telling you is, in that situation, they will put the UFL will make so much money that it will allow them to expand at a faster rate. And the NFL ain't trying to do that now. They ain't trying to create competition like that. So I just couldn't see that happening.
Yeah. I saw one of the comments that you put up, Donnie C was saying, like, playing on the scout team, he got to learn other. Like, I mean, that's true. Like, playing on the scout team, look, you got to get a first defense, a look that they going to be seeing against the opponent. But at the same time, it still helps Shedeur with terminology, understanding concepts, stuff like that, because everything in the NFL is very similar, right? It may be a different key phrase of a word, but the route concepts are the same. The way they, use motion, the way you can understand the defense, like, that's still the basis of, like, football. So he'll be able to hone in on those things, and then the extra time, like, you just got to put the extra time in as far as the playbook and stuff like that. And if they dress you out, if you're getting dressed out, you better believe you're going to be in those meetings understanding the install for the Browns that week if you're getting dressed out. If you're in street